All right, guys, we are back. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy CMB checking in. And guys, I want to talk a little bit about the self-proclaimed chosen one, Edgar Berlanga. I just sat here just now and watched his fight from this past weekend since I didn't get a chance to watch it earlier. You guys know it didn't last very long. So first of all, let me shout out Edgar Berlanga for improving his record to 23-1, getting the win over Jonathan Gonzalez. Now, I know you guys aren't surprised that he won this fight. And honestly, I think it was just a stay busy fight, a fight where he could get, a knockout highlight reel, which he did, after coming off of that loss to Canelo Alvarez this past September. So, I wasn't surprised by that. And I'm not going to knock him for taking this fight. Now, the guy, Jonathan Gonzalez, I want to clear this up because I've been hearing a lot in the space that this guy hasn't fought in 10 years. And that's not exactly true, guys. He fought a couple of times in 2024. Now, before that, he had been out of the ring since 2014. So in that sense, it is true. Before those two fights, he had been out since his last fight was in 2014. So he's actually fought 2 times before he fought Berlanga last year. So I just want to put that out there. For taking up for Edgar Berlanga, because a lot of people were saying he was fighting a guy that's been sitting on the shelf for 10 years. So just wanted to make that clear. Now, Edgar Berlanga, the fight itself, that's not really what I want to talk about, guys. What I want to talk about is his hit list. His hit list of fighters that he called out after the fight, guys that he wants to see at 168. Let me go over these names here. Of course, he wants a rematch with the one and only Canelo Alvarez. He called out Caleb Sweethands Plant. He called out Jamal Charlo. And he also called out Jaime Munguia. So I do have to respect him for calling out the top names at 168, wanting to mix it up. He says he wants to take over the 168-pound division. So I have to respect I would say his ambition, having a goal. But let's talk about it. What are his chances? All these guys he called out, what are his chances of defeating any of these fighters that he called out? And I want to start off first with Canelo Alvarez, because that's the guy he fought last, like I said, this past September. And we saw that, he lost every round in that fight. Even though he put his heart and soul in that fight, even leading up to the fight, you guys saw there was some bad blood and tension with him and Canelo Alvarez. And I said Canelo Alvarez picked him for a reason. Canelo Alvarez knew this was an easy win for him. He knew that Berlanga was not on his level. We all knew that. We wanted him to fight David Benavidez, but we knew that wasn't going to happen. He picked Berlanga because he knew Berlanga was not on his level, and it showed in the fight. Now that Berlanga's been in the ring with Canelo Alvarez, does he have a better chance now at defeating Canelo Alvarez, now that he's seen what Canelo Alvarez brings to the table? He put up a hell of a fight. It just wasn't good enough. But in all honesty, I think Berlanga hasn't really added any new wrinkles to his game, so I think it'll be pretty much the same in a second fight with Canelo Alvarez unless he improves his arsenal. I would say he would probably get knocked down again in the fight, and the fight will probably go the distance like it did in the first fight. So I don't see that he has improved enough to beat Canelo Alvarez in the second fight. Now let's look at Jamal Charlo. This is an interesting one because Jamal Charlo is a lot more skilled than Edgar Berlanga in my book when it comes to the sport of boxing. My problem is with Jamal is his, how long he's been out of the ring, his inactivity. I think that would definitely play a role in this fight. We don't know what his punch resistance is like. He's been dealing with mental health issues. He's been dealing with substance abuse issues. Would he be disciplined enough to train hard for this fight and get in the ring with Edgar Berlanga? What is his punch resistance like? I don't know. So in all honesty, even though I would typically pick the more skilled fighter, I would have to lean towards Edgar Berlanga in that fight, knocking out Charlo. I hate to say it, but that's, that would be my prediction in that fight. if we get the Charlo, like I said, that we don't know about. Now, Caleb Plant, these two guys, we know him and Caleb Plant, they got some bad blood there. Caleb Plant, in my opinion, also is a lot more skilled than Berlanga. You know, he has a lot more wrinkles in his game. You know, he has good footwork. He knows how to use that ring. Great jab, faster hands, throws a lot of combinations. I think the only thing I would see is, you know, Caleb Plant, sometime he gasses out towards the later rounds, and he has a questionable chin. So I would still give the edge to Plant winning the fight, but I wouldn't be surprised if things turned around in later rounds and Berlanga was able to knock out Caleb Plant. So I'm going to lean more towards Plant in that fight, but I think, you know, he has to be on his A game 100% from round 1 through round 12. So that's how I see that fight playing out. Now, Jaime Munguia, this one right here, this is interesting. Jaime Munguia, both of these guys, they are dogs. I will say that. They like to punch. They both have power. I think if Jaime Munguia uses his attributes that he learned from Freddie Roach, it could be an easier fight for him. If he goes in there and tries to fight the type of fight that Edgar Berlanga fights, it's a toss-up. It's a 50-50 in my opinion. It's whoever has the stronger chin. So I think that would be a very interesting fight, seeing if Jaime Munguia incorporates that skill set, using that jab, using that footwork that he learned. I just think he should have stuck with Freddie Roach, in my opinion. That's just my opinion, though. But if Jaime Munguia uses those attributes, I think I would have him as the favorite to win. If he doesn't, it's a toss-up, guys. It's 50-50. Like I said, you know, whoever has the stronger chin. But anyway, just wanted to give my opinion on that, guys. That is his hit list. I'm interested in knowing what you guys think, his chances of beating any of those guys. How do you see it? Do you see Berlanga getting his hands raised in any of those fights? You guys let me know how you feel about that in the comments section. It's the CMB. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. And I'm out. Peace.